I'm Jenny He, former curatorial assistant in the Department of Film at the Museum of Modern Art and co-organizer of MoMA's Tim Burton exhibition. My MoMA experience in 2005, I worked on an exhibition on Pixar Animation Studios. And like the Tim Burton exhibition, the Pixar exhibition involved a lot of art that was really not accessible to the public. It was really revealing to show all of this work that were done by Pixar artists, but nobody really knew that this work existed. I think that when the exhibition premiered at MoMA in 2005, people really thought that computer-generated films just really came from the computer. But in fact, the exhibition revealed that there was a lot of hand-drawn process, a lot of works on paper, really a lot of formal artists who were working in computer-animated films. So it was great to really take that experience and translate it to the Tim Burton exhibition. My co-curator and I, Ron Magliozzi, we went to Tim Burton's archive and we discovered, like with the Pixar exhibition, an entire really trove of work that we really didn't know existed, and certainly the public didn't know existed. So it was really exciting to be able to do that again, to be able to give something new to the museum visitors. Well, it really is about what I want to see in a museum exhibition. I think it's really about finding the story behind the film. I think that, of course, as a film curator, to me, the finished work of art is the film itself. And a lot of it could be process work. A lot of it's process work by costume designers, production designers, but that work is also art in and of itself. So it's really nice to see all of these layers that are combined to make a finished work of art in the film. But at the same time, there's so many stories to be told behind the scenes. So it's really interesting to really find that specific story. And of course with Tim, it's really all of this personal work, all the unrealized projects that really led up to his famous films. For example, Jack Skellington, the famous character in The Nightmare Before Christmas, really appeared in a lot of Tim's early work. As early as 1982, you can see sketches of Jack Skellington in the background of an unrealized project called Trick or Treat. So it's really great to really find that story from Nightmare Before Christmas and really be able to tell that to an audience. Yes. Yes and no. I think that we discovered that Tim, the public persona of Tim Burton and of course Tim's work was really true. He really struggled as an artist at Disney. He wasn't given really creative freedom, and he really had to struggle to bring his vision to life and really to stick to what he wanted to do rather than conform to what other people thought he should do. So we knew that to start with, and then we also realized that there's a lot of humor in the macabre, and I think that really people perhaps might not realize the balance between horror and humor in Tim's work is really 50-50. I think something as outrageous and irreverent as Mars Attacks, where you just see people incinerated, it's actually quite funny because taken in the context of the film, parodying perhaps disaster films, paying homage to Ray Harryhausen and Earth versus the Flying Saucers. So you really kind of see these overlapping narratives in Tim's work where it might be funny, it might be a little scary, but in fact it's intermingled. A film such as Nightmare Before Christmas, where Sally is really sewing herself together. It might be a little macabre, but in fact it's really about a character finding a way to put herself back together and really finding strength in falling apart and being able to come back and really finding the strength in yourself. So for me, I think Tim's been stereotyped as this gothic horror person because he really loves universal horror monsters or Japanese Godzilla films. But in fact, there's so much humor in his work. So I think that's one stereotype that's really been dissuaded by this exhibition. I think it's so great that the MoMA exhibition is able to come to Seoul. I know that Asian audiences are really, really passionate about Tim Burton's work. So I really think that in order to take back, I think it's a rewarding experience just to come to the exhibition, but I would say that Korean audiences should really spend a lot of time in the exhibition. I think, just take entire day, because the detail in Tim's work is so intricate that you can look at a piece and realize, oh, there's a joke in here, or this character relates to this character. So that's really what we wanted to find, the themes and motifs in Tim's work, and really be able to put it in an exhibition so that audiences can really make that connection for themselves. And it's so great to have this work travel, really start in New York and end in Seoul and travel around the world, and to be able to give the Korean audiences access to the work as we as curators had access to. So we really wanted to share that with everyone. I hope they will enjoy the exhibition. I know that their passion for Tim's work will be hopefully fully rewarded when they come, and hopefully it won't be too crowded.